Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. You're in the right place at the right time. Your soul is welcome here, right, Ann?
That's right. You're just where you're meant to be, whether you're live streaming or here in person. And we have Denise Anye joining us today. Sing some group songs. Let's all sing about how we're welcome here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be.
In the right place,
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
The Call from Your Tomorrow by Reverend James is the talk, and the meditation by Reverend Deborah. Can't wait.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome.
I'm getting the message.
I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
You take it.
My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Oh, says welcome here.
Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah. Good morning to everyone. Souls are welcome here. A lot of exuberance there this morning.
Good morning, Reverend James. It's great to be here. And we greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there's no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time this morning, whether you're watching us online or here in person, we especially want to welcome you because we know you are not here by accident. Every one of us is here by
Divine appointment.
And we're so grateful to get together, and we're very excited to get together, and we're just absolutely thrilled when you silence your electronic devices. And please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, it doesn't take much to thrill us, apparently. Let's take a moment in this energy of thrillness and feel and sense our oneness with the Spirit of the living God. And know that we're living and moving and having our beingness in this presence. And this presence contains all that is good and perfect. This presence, although beyond words, we know one thing is for sure: it is the emanation of love itself. And we are an expression of that loving presence. And all of the offspring of this energy and this quality of divine love, including peace and wholeness and vitality and vigor and imagination and zeal. We embody all of those qualities because this presence and I and all of us are one with it. So as we do our part in radiating these qualities, not only are we lifted up, but all those who cross our path are lifted up as well, because it ignites that same quality within them. So we're grateful to be the vessels and the vehicles of the Spirit of the living God as we go forth, magnifying and glorifying the all-good. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center that's reflected in our mission statement, and invite us to collectively affirm it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission as we embody these 5 universal principles to the best of our ability. Again, let's speak them aloud together. God is absolute good and everywhere perfect. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action.
And the action this Wednesday night is, first of all, the community meal at 6 o'clock, and we're still in the salad season. So, and our salad makers are really turning it on this year. So, and there's, of course, there's dessert as well. So, we'd love to see you there. And then at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 9, is the first night of the Quantum Living training with Elaine Laroa.
Oh.
And
We're going to change mics?
me? Okay. And yeah, so Elaine, I was going to ask you, James, how do you describe the quantum living training?
Well, from my perspective, everybody has their own. I think a lot of stuff will happen around us in our life that maybe we don't like, but what's the most important thing is what's happening within us. If we take care of that, we'll be able to take care of whatever's going on outside of us.
And this is just a really good program that helps you learn how to do it gently and lovingly. So the first class is this Wednesday night. There's a workbook that you need to buy. The class is by love offering. You can go out to the hub and sign up and get your book. And so love to see you there for that.
Okay. And of course, we have our Mystic Cafe coming up with Todd Morgan, and our one and only Denise Anye is going to be part of that experience. And it's a crossroads of rockabilly, country, and swing, but we have a video to give you a taste of what you will experience on Friday, July the 11th.
Hi, my name is Todd Morgan, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Todd Morgan and the Emblems. I'm also a performer and recording artist.
I told the love of my life she'd be mine. She didn't believe me, and I said, that's fine, but you will. Yeah, you will. Do you understand me when I say you will?
When I feel like I'm going crazy, yes, and I just can't help myself.
I never realized we didn't even have to try. Angels in the daytime misbehave at night.
Well, it's going to be magnificent, but with Todd and Denise, she's going to bring her own specialness to it all. And I got to get some of those shoes that guy was wearing on the stand. And if you'd like to be a sponsor of the Mystic Cafe, you can do so by checking out the hub, and they'll let you know how you can do that. And I believe you can also go online to get an idea how you can sponsor us as well.
Of course, you can sponsor us any way you want. So we have the raffle. This raffle is special because the tickets are $100, but you can win $5,000, and of course, and then SLC would also get $5,000. So hey, buy your ticket today. We've got 62 tickets left, so there's enough of you in here to pretty much do it in today. And of course, we'll just keep selling the tickets until all 100 tickets are sold, and then we will have the drawing. So get your ticket today.
And of course, you can go in with somebody if you don't want to buy one on your own. You can.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can buy the tickets at the hub or over the phone. We can't sell them online. So those are the two ways to buy them.
And of course, we have Rainbow Bingo coming up. That's on Friday, June 27th. There are some hardcore bingo players in here. Because, they have to shut up all the doors because they said, what is that ruckus going on in Spiritual Life Center? They just have some knockdown, drag-out bingo going on. So that's going to take place Friday, June 27th, starting at 6:30, ending at 8:30. They used to go only for an hour, but people would never leave, so they extended it for 2 hours. So come in and enjoy Rainbow Bingo that evening on Friday, June 27th.
We should have a bingo called Knockdown Bingo.
I was going to suggest Fierce Bingo.
Fierce Bingo?
Fierce Bingo.
Okay.
And, okay, so if you are new to SLC or have been around for a while and want to know more about us or know about how to become a community member, which eventually leads to becoming a governing member, there is a new member info session at 1 o'clock today with Reverend James, and I believe Sally Sion will be handling that. You can attend in person or on Zoom. And it just gives you an idea of what we're about and how you can become more involved. So.
And it's going to be in the annex right to my right, the room right next to us. So come in, or you can check on Zoom if you're not able to be in person. And now see what else we got going. Oh yes, we have an update from one of our board members, Linda Paoli. She's going to give us an ABC update. So welcome, Linda. Oh, there you go.
Oh, I don't have my glasses, but luckily I printed it in big print. Okay, good afternoon, SLC family and friends. For some of you, this is not an introduction if you went to the January membership meeting, but I want to introduce you to our newest SLC board committee. It's named the Abundance Building Committee, or ABC for short. We've been around since the beginning of the year, getting clear on our plans for 2025. I'm hoping to get you excited about participating in this committee as a consultant, planner, game night organizer, or attendee. We can't do this without you. We'll be working in conjunction with our wonderful SLC staff to make sure that we are synergistic partners with each other in abundance building. In the next 4 months, ABC will be hosting events in July, August, and October. In addition, ABC will be putting on the auction this year. That's part of the gala that is produced by the staff. Why do we need this committee? To support Spiritual Life Center's financial and community building goals. Another focus of ABC is to develop a legacy program for long-term stability. We will be working with the SLC board to complement and support the strategic plan for SLC that will be developed with our new minister, Reverend Dr. Richard Bellas. Carol Mercer and I will be sitting in the courtyard after services and can more fully explain to you what events we will be hosting, and also how you can get involved with building abundance for SLC. We will have sign-up sheets for anyone who wants to participate and information about our events. And I'm not sure Carol will be in the courtyard with us, but Pam Logan had said she will be sitting at that table too. So that's why I kind of tripped over myself. See you in the courtyard. Namaste.
Thank you.
And of course, every week, We remind you that there are many activities that foster transformation in our lives here at Spiritual Life Centers. So check out our weekly small groups and other offerings. You can go to the courtyard, look at the bulletin board, go chat with the lovely ladies at the hub. And of course, everything is on our website, so you might want to check that out as well.
And of course, we have a number of these activities for folks to come, not only to, get the enjoyment of those experiences or the learning from them, but also to make connections. But we don't have to wait for a special event to connect with someone. You connect with someone right here and right now. So in a manner that feels comfortable for you, just turn to a friend or a neighbor or a friend to be and say, "You are marvelous and glad you are here."
And we invite you to stay standing and join us in singing our group song, I Trust in God. Because the truth is, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm one with the Spirit all around me. There's no better time than right now to raise our consciousness. And let's have a little bit more faith by trusting in God, the God of our understanding. We invite you to sing with us. Please join us in singing. Thank you, RJ.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. So thankful, I'm thankful, so grateful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. I know that I am one in the Spirit all around. Yes, I surrender, I surrender. Yes, I surrender, I surrender. And I trust in God. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful, so grateful. Yes, I am one. I am one. I am one. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. And I trust in God. I trust in God. I'm so thankful. Thankful. Grateful. So grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
Wow. I think God heard us on that one. And now, as we settle in for the contemplative portion of our service, We take a nice deep breath together and let's speak aloud our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
Part of raising our consciousness is listening to that still small voice. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart, I am here. Please join me in singing. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart, I am here. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart, I am here. Calling out your name, whispering your name. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart, I am here. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart, I am here. Calling out your name, whispering your name. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart, I am here. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart, I am here. Calling out your name, whispering your name. Hear me in your heart, I am calling you. Listen to your heart. Exactly. I am here.
Listen to your heart. I am here. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale. Allow your body to relax. Drop your shoulders. Relax your eyelids. And now inhale gently and exhale just gently, gently. Allow yourself to drift into a light daydream. A soft white mist surrounds you and lifts you up and up until your consciousness floats free and you begin to see another more ethereal realm. Here the mist vibrates and sparkles, points of light wink in and out, and it seems as if they revolve around you. As you watch and feel this active mist, one of the winking lights approaches you and expands into a brilliantly colored ball. And now other winking lights approach, each expanding into a brilliant ball of light, each one taking on a different color. And so you are encircled by pulsing, brilliantly colored orbs. They are silent, yet very vibrant and very active. As you watch the light show, you hear the murmurings of a voice. It's very soft. And it's so soft at first that you can't tell where it comes from or what it's saying. The sound comes again just a little more clearly. Something is saying your name. Looking around at the glowing orbs, you realize that one of them is burning just a little bit brighter, and its color is a little purer. And you know it is calling your name. It is calling you. And when you focus on that particular orb, it again calls your name, this time very clearly. And you connect with it, and it gently, lovingly pulls you right in. And as you are engulfed by the colored light, you know that this is exactly where you are meant to be. Your light has called you, and you have answered. In this realm, you know everything that you need to know. You see everything that you need to see. Hear everything you need to hear. Heal everything you need to heal. And you take it all in the silence. And now your colored sphere and you gently float apart. In gratitude, you watch as the balls of light begin to rotate around you. Each ball spins faster and faster until they somehow catch up with one another and merge, billowing into one holy white orb that sparkles and shines and pulsates. And you understand that though you are called to one small colored orb that is uniquely yours, it is also part of the one holy orb. The seemingly small part that you play in life is but one aspect, and your aspect is integral to the whole. So as you take a breath or two and begin to return to your physical body, receive this blessing. Oh, my beloved, everything is an aspect of the whole. The whole cannot do without any of its aspects. You are a holy part of the whole, and you are called to do your part. What you do matters. It matters to you. It matters to others. It matters to the universe. When you answer your call, the angels sing. Remember this always.
You with those sad eyes, don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can't lose sight of it, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me your smile then, and don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. This world makes you crazy, and you've taken all you can bear. Just call me up, because you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Can't remember when I last saw you laugh. If this world makes you crazy and you taking all you can bear, just call me up, because you know I'll be there. See your two colors shining through. See your two colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. And I see your true colors shining through. See your true colors, that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
Ann Roach, letting our true colors show. That's why we love you. You know, I have a brother who's a long-distance truck driver, and he's been a practicing Muslim for like 30 years, and we sometimes have a lot of conversation because he calls me when he's on the road and he wants to talk. You know, he's not a minister, he's not a philosopher, although he does get very philosophical when we sometimes discuss things. But he says, you know, he spends sometimes hundreds, maybe he spends thousands of hours on the open road. And he has nothing but time and my thoughts. I think if I just had nothing but time but my thoughts, that would be a dangerous thing, but apparently it works for him. But anyway, a while back he called me, and he had a question. He had a question that made me ponder and think a little bit. And he said, you know, I've been driving through all these little towns, and I've been reading about, you know, all these historical plaques that are on the side of the road, and they all kind of say similar, if not the same thing. You know, there's one group that's fighting against another group. It's about someone being conquered or some war being won. And then he asked me, do you think people will ever stop fighting? Will humanity ever rise above all of this? Well, he thought I had an answer because I was supposed to be the answer man. It's not a casual question, particularly if we look around what's going on in our world today, the wars and threats of wars. It's a question that many of us have probably asked in one way or another. But I do remember saying something to the effect that I don't know the future, but I believe this. We have not written the ending yet. Because the choices that we make today, whether it's personal choices or choices as a society, will determine the kind of tomorrow that we wake up to. Because I believe here's the truth. The Spirit of God has something better in mind for us. There is a divine idea in the mind of this grand universe, and that idea is trying to express itself through you and through me, through all of us. And I thought about this scriptural reference from the book of Jeremiah, the 29th chapter and 11th verse. And it says, for I know the thoughts I think toward you, saith the Lord. And that's a great law of life, not a being, but a great law of life. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. And in some version, it says to give you a future and a hope. I think this is the universe calling. This is the call of the universe. And it's not calling us just to survive, just to make it through life. It's calling us to be more and to express more than we may even think is possible. And that call is a whisper from our tomorrow. It's God's idea of who we really are and what's possible for our world. And we can hear that voice if we are up early in the morning or maybe late at night when everything is still. If you ever had those moments. And in those moments, we can hear God's intention for our life. But here's the thing. It doesn't always come wrapped in comfort. Sometimes it comes through disruption, through times when our life gets shaken, rattled, and rolled, so to speak. And through the discomfort, maybe of injustice that we see or grief of a transition of some sort. I don't know if you remember back in 2020, we had this thing called the pandemic and COVID. You know, we had the killing of George Floyd, we had the protests, we had a lot of uncertainty. I think it was an awakening of some sort. But those were not just chaotic moments, I believe. Those were cosmic calls for us to come up higher. That we are cosmic calls that we're having today. So the question, I believe, is will we just treat them as moments that will just pass us by, or will we answer the call and make them movements? Movements that make a positive difference in our world. I think we all have a calling in us waiting to be expressed. You know, my son, I still think he was a little kid, but he's taller than I am now. You know, I remember when I was picking him up, maybe the first or second grade. At the time, he would go to the school, and I think they would, when they let everybody out, they'd be out on the playground waiting for the parents to pick them up. And I would go there to pick him up. And I saw him from a distance, and I saw him looking or speaking to another classmate, a classmate. And it wasn't a pleasant conversation for what I could see. He was giving him a stern lecture, like the 3rd degree. And I later found out what was happening. He thought that the kid had done something unjust to someone else on the playground. And he couldn't let it pass because it was just in him. And I think it's just something that, was part of his being, and it's kind of moved through him. So he became kind of more activist. And, he had an activist mode, whether he was in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, doing all the stuff that they do. And he was thinking about, going to the law school, and, he's got to into a place and just say, I don't know, man, it's cost so much money. I'm not really getting enough money. And then he finally got an acceptance to somewhere. Actually, he got acceptance to UC San Francisco, San Francisco. And they gave him a, and that's not the big thing. He would have gotten to a couple places, but they gave him a completely full ride. They paid his tuition, his housing, his fees, because they saw something within him. And I guess when he got that, he said, okay, I guess I have no choice. I got to go now. Got to do it. But it reminded me as I thought about that experience, of a young man named Brian Stevenson who answered his call. And Brian was a civil rights attorney. He was a founder of an organization called the Equal Justice Initiative. And he dedicated his life to defending those who just didn't have any means and may often have been condemned, have been forgotten by society. Many of them have been left behind because they just didn't have access to resources in this world. And we said he went one day to go visit one of his new clients on death row in Alabama. And when he got there, the guard at the gate gave him every roadblock you could imagine. They made him go back to his car and get his credentials to prove that he was a lawyer. They made him strip searched him before they let him go in. They had him sign the papers to get in as if he was a defendant himself. And I think Brian was saying, or something to the effect that he thought about just leaving and just not even dealing with this. He thought about giving that guard a piece of his mind. And as I like to say, if you give someone a piece of your mind too often, you won't have any mind left. So, so he decided, no, he thought better of that. And he remembered why he was there. He was answering his call. And he saw his client, and his client had he had some mental challenges that he was going through, and every system that he had experienced had failed him. And somewhere along the line, when he was kind of getting the information, the client asked him, did you bring me a chocolate milkshake? And this kind of threw him off. He wasn't expecting that kind of interaction with him. And Brian said, well, no, but next time I will. But anyway, there's a lot that went on. It's a very good movie about him and a very good book about it. But here's the miracle that took place. And why I believe when we hear and we answer our call and how it can be so powerful. That same guard, that same one who had humiliated him, had heard Brian speaking in court on behalf of his client, and something shifted. And that guard later went up to Brian and pulled him aside and said, you're doing a good job. Keep fighting. Now, this threw him completely off because this was totally out of character for his interaction with him. And then the man went on to admit that he, too, had grown up in foster care. He had suffered. And on his way back from court, he said he decided to go by Wendy's and buy his client that chocolate milkshake that he asked for. But we asked, what changed? I think in some way that one man lived his calling. That was Brian. And it called something higher out of someone else that was waiting to be expressed, but it needed Brian to do his part in order to interact with him, for him to do his part. There was a man who, by answering his call, called a higher part of him to come out. As I think about that, this month is Pride Month. And it's a reminder that if humanity is to reach its potential, it must live out the truth that all of us are unique expressions of the Spirit of God. And as we do, we will no longer see or put our focus on the seeming differences. We will see that the many variations that exist is how Spirit needs all of us to reveal its infinite nature. You know, I had a personal experience that helped me have an understanding of this when I was young and a very impressionable, suggestible age. You know, my father had moved from New York to Florida, and we traveled through the Deep South. And this was, right after the passage of the Civil Rights movement, civil rights laws in 1964. So I've been around for a while, it seems like. But there remained, physical reminders of the discrimination in forms of signs that designated that there were separate bathrooms over here for some people and water fountains over there for some people, separating the blacks and the whites. And it created an indelible imprint in my mind. I went and drank at the other one anyway, just to see what the water tastes like. It was the same. Anyway. But very early in my life, I came to realize that people had created self-imposed boxes. I didn't say it that way, but I think we created boxes of limitation and lines of separation. And I knew that in some way, if we treated others as objects, and I learned later, treat them as less than the rest of humanity, that we would deny our world the great God-given gifts that everyone has to offer. And it really hit home for me when I was at a low point in my life, and I had the privilege to receive counsel and support from a man who helped bring me from the brink of my despair. He was a magnificent therapist, and he was instrumental in helping me get me on the right path so I can make a difference in my life, maybe make a difference in others. And he was a gay man, but I did not see him that way. I did not see him as straight or black or white or brown. I saw him as a gift of God for me. And if I gotten caught up in the hate and the prejudice and the bigotry, I would have denied myself of his gifts and his ability to express them. And I think over the years, particularly earlier in my ministry, I sometimes would have mothers and fathers and relatives of people who were gay or of a different sexual orientation. And they would come to me in my capacity as a minister, and I would remind them that their son or their daughter or their friend was a gift of God, and that God loves them, all of us, equally, no exceptions. And as spiritual beings, our purpose is to realize that we're here as an emanation of this presence we call God. And since God is love, we are here to perfect our loving in this dimension, in this world. And if we can understand that we are here to perfect our loving, whether a person is heterosexual, gay, in a relationship, no matter what it is, they could be ambisextrous, it doesn't really matter. That's what somebody told me that they were. They told me they were ambisextrous. I said, okay, it sounds good to me. We all come to the realization that we all here to learn the same lessons. We're here to perfect our loving and develop charity of the heart, understanding, and patience and kindness, and all of these lessons that we are here to learn. I believe this is our calling and why we are here. The call from our tomorrow takes many forms. In our minds, there might be some things that are big, some things that are small, but there's no big or small in the mind of God. There are only the qualities that we bring forth. So we may ask, how do we hear that call from our tomorrow? Well, I always say there's no definitive how-tos. There's strategies that we can use to put us in the position to hear that call. But I think one of the first things we can do, and we talk about this a lot, is that we have to get still and hear it in the silence, in our meditations, in our prayer. And I believe that these practices are not luxuries. There are lifelines that we can hear that voice, that still small voice. And if we get up early in the morning, like I said, stay up late at night, as I mentioned, we will still hear God's instructions for our life, our intention for our life. And we give that our attention because the universe is broadcasting that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But we've got to clear the static that's in our mind. And that static shows up as fear. That static shows up as doubt. That static shows up as judgment. That static shows up as busyness. That static shows up as separation and polarization and otherness. That spiritual practice helps us get in tune with the only thing that there is that is eternal, the presence of God. And then secondly, I think we have to ask the right questions. Someone said one practice that we can engage in is that for the next 30 days, Simply try this. Write down your thoughts. Write down your habits. Write down your emotions and those things that keep you stuck. And then write down, who do you want to become? You can look around at you and find those people that are where you want to be and just copy those people. Those are the people that you want to be. And you ask, what do they think? How do they act? What do they feel? And then we get that same feeling within us even before what we want to see happen in our life arrives. Because we cannot become it before we feel it. Because we cannot manifest what we're not willing to become in that feeling. So we start with that. And then thirdly, we can step into the vision. We don't wait to feel perfect to start. We do it while we're unsure. We do it while we're nervous. We'll do it while there's tears in our eyes if we must do it. I think I shared with a few people that, my stepmother was put in hospice early last week, and then I got news that she passed away on Friday. So I've been talking with my family about that, and she had a long life, and I think she was ready to go. And knowing her, she said, "Don't keep me hanging around for anything." But I remember when I was very young, my father passed away, and so she was left with all of us kids. There were 7 of us. So she had a calling that was thrust upon her, and she did a phenomenal job with everyone there. She answered her call, and sometimes that's how it happens. The universe just sets it up for you to answer a bigger call than what you think you're able to do. God is not waiting on our perfection. God is waiting for our participation. That's what the Spirit of God is waiting for. So we go back to my brother's question. Will we rise above the conflict? Will we rise above the separation? Will we rise above treating people as objects or less than based upon where they're from, based upon their language, based upon the God that they worship? Because we must remember that we are all expressions of what the way the universe expresses itself. And I believe we can. But there is not just a personal good, but there's a collective good when we answer our call. To rise above polarization, to see immigrants as divine image bearers themselves, to treat the earth as sacred, to honor free speech and truth and peace. These are not pipe dreams. These are previews of what's possible when we answer our call. Here's what I'd like to leave you with and let you know. The call from your tomorrow, my tomorrow, is not some far-off fantasy. It's real. It's right here. It's waiting on you, it's waiting on me, it's waiting on all of us to say yes. We were not born to repeat the past. We were born to create the future. Someone said if you want to predict the future, you have to create it. We are here to be those co-creators. We are the answer we have been waiting for. You and I are the ones that want to express the presence of God. For God wants us to shine its light by means of our heart, by means of our hands, by means of our vision. So today, as you leave this space, I just ask yourself, you have to ask yourself, everywhere that I go, do I make the environment better? Do I make it better for me just being there? If the answer is yes, then you're answering the call. And if not, it's okay, because the call is still going to be ringing. It's going to be banging and knocking and calling your name, and we've got to answer. The moment is now. This is our moment. Not just a moment in time, but a movement in consciousness. A movement that says we can live life as one human family. A movement that says that we can embody the better angels of our nature. We can claim our good. And when we answer the call from our tomorrow, we realize it's not really from tomorrow. It's a call that's calling us for today. And today we answer that call. So it is, so we let it be. Peace and blessings. Sometimes we want to know what we want. Well, Reverend Deborah is going to let us know it's okay to ask for what you want. So that's what she's going to speak about next week, and we'll have Reverend Deborah and Reverend Janae and Carol Manson will be the music along with Soul Light Connection. So come here and know it's okay to ask for what you want because you got a big idea in mind that Spirit wants to fulfill through you. Particularly if you want to have prayer today, if you want that, or let you know that our chaplains are available to pray for you. So look for a chaplain wearing one of the white stoles. They'll be more than happy to pray with you in the courtyard. And we thank the chaplains for holding their prayer consciousness and just bringing that energy with us today and every day here at our community. For those who are here for the very first time, any first-timers here today, if you just raise your hand, keep your hand up nice and high. Thank you. Appreciate it. We got a couple up here, a gentleman over here. First of all, we behold the magnificence that you are. There's a card that we're handing out if you'd like to fill it out. And also a brochure that you can see a little bit about who we are and what we're about. But more importantly, we just appreciate your presence. We behold you as the Spirit of God beholds you, as His unique, unrepeatable expression of the divine. And we thank you for your presence, and we affirm you on your path, whatever that path may be, because everyone has their path, and we're seeking to get to the same place, realizing our potential. So thank you for your presence. For those who are online who would like to support Spiritual Life Center with your gift or your offering, you can do so by texting XLC Love to 44321, and it'll take you to a page in which you can give your offering. Or you can go to our website, slcworld.org, click the Donate tab, and it'll give you other ways to give, including sending a check by mail. So we behold you as we see you being at your highest and the best, and we appreciate any support that you give to our community to help us spread the word about the possibilities of the human spirit. For those who are here today that would like to support Spiritual Life Center with your gift or offering, or those who have already given electronically or by mail, just know that you're in a flow of a principle that says that whatever you give out, it does come back because you keep that energy. And so at this moment, as you take your gift or your offering, just hold it up to the heavens, which is expanding good and abundance and possibilities, and let us affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Chant in you and me. I am the living, breathing God, and you are one in me. We're called to be. You are called to be a mother, to nurture family. You are called to be a brother, be strength in times of need. You are called to be a neighbor, see a friend in all you meet. You are called to be a leader, to build community. You are called to be a prayer, living out the truth you seek. You are called to be everything. You are called to be. called to be compassion, be the wind beneath each wing. We are called to make communion, only then can we succeed. We are called to be a pair, living out the truth we seek. We are called to be everything. We are called to be the glory here on earth, so Almighty, all the love and all the beauty that shines in you and me. We are the living, breathing God, and you are one in me. We're called to be peace, called to be joy, called to be love, called to be free, called to be peace, called to be joy, called to be free, called to be peace, called to be joy, called to be love, called to be, yeah, we called to be, called to be. Am I making each situation better? How am I showing up? I'm called to be beauty, joy, peace, love. We're called to be, yeah, we're called to be, yeah.
Said it all in song. We have called to be. Thank you once again, Ann. We thank those who have blessed us with their gifts and their offerings today. Knowing He's going to bless the givers and the receivers and provide a place for those who are on the path of fulfilling their potential as expressions of the divine. So we bless those who have blessed us, knowing that they'll be blessed themselves with the riches pressed down and running over. We also bless those who have left their prayers in the prayer box today or throughout the week. For we're reminded that in this thing called life, we all have challenges and setbacks and stumbles along the way and things that we cannot figure out with our own might and power and wit. But in those moments, we realize there's a presence we can lean on at any time. A presence that is beyond words, but it's more real than the chairs we're sitting on or the platform I'm standing on at this time. It is the Spirit of the living God. It is in all, through all, and is supporting us at all moments. And as we make it the activity of our awareness, then we realize that this presence doesn't see problems, it only sees divine and perfect spiritual solutions. And so no matter what we think our problem is, it has the answer because it is all-knowing, everywhere present, and all-powerful. It is omniactive, and so it is active in our life right here and right now. And our job is simply to raise ourselves to be one with this presence. And as we do, the seeming problems dissolve into the nothingness from which they have come, or they serve as a learning opportunity for us to grow and expand into our highest yet to be. So we bless those who have left their prayers, knowing their prayers are already answered. As it says in that scriptural reference, before thy call, I already have answered you. So we allow this presence to have its way with us so we can move forward from where we are to where we can be. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Let us join in as we affirm our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. Let us sing our peace song together.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, God as creator. Family, all are we, family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace, oh, let it begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me.
Peace and blessings. Have a great week. Hang around for some post-service music and answer your call from tomorrow.